What the fuck is a Decan Walk in tarot, and why the heck should you do it? Why should I do it? Well, the Decan Walk shows you how astrological correspondences were mapped onto 36 minor arcana cards to deepen your understanding of tarot and astrological correspondences. Hi, my name is Tammy, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Stellar Tarot Alchemy. I'm a professional astrologer, tarot reader, and tarot coach. And in this video, I'm going to try to explain to you what a Decan Walk is, what is a Chaldean order of planets, why does it matter, and how it is all connected to tarot and how it can be actually useful. So, first of all, let's talk about the purpose of a Decan Walk. The purpose of a Decan Walk in tarot is to cultivate a practice that actually provide a deeper understanding of the minor arcana cards, to be exact, of the 36 minor arcana cards, while doing it, attuning to seasonal forces and understanding how different energies, planets, and signs show up in our daily life. Okay? And what is a decan? To understand what is a decan, well, we should go a little bit back into the history. So decans, they have ancient roots in Egyptian, Greek, and Indian astrology, and they are appearing later in something that is known Picatrix, that shows the 36 faces of astrological wheel. And we are going to mention that Picatrix a lot every day, not every day, but every video when we are covering a card in tarot. So decans are also like decans cover 10 degrees sections of imaginary circle. Imaginary circle is divided in 360 degrees. This imaginary circle represents the signs of the zodiac. Each zodiac sign is then divided in 3 sections covering the 10 degrees. This 10-degree section of each sign is called a decan. So when you divide a zodiac of 360 degrees, when you divide it by 10, you get 36 parts, 36 decans, 36 faces that are mirrored in 36 cards. So each decan or each slice of 10 degrees is related to one tarot card in minor arcana. Each decan, so each 10-degree part of a zodiac sign, is ruled by a planet. And we use Chaldean order that I'm going to speak about a little bit later. So we use planets, we use 7 visible planets because the ancient were using 7 visible planets, and we are using this ancient doctrine because 7 planets were visible by the naked eye in the sky, and this is why we are using it. So we use planets Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, and the Moon. I'm going to speak about that a little bit later. So the walk, the Decan Walk, uses the Golden Dawn system where, like I said, 36 numbered minor cards from 2s to 10s represents the decans, and it is assigned to each part of zodiac sign of a planet and different qualities that I'm going to mention a little bit later on. I'm going to share my screen, but before I do, I just wanted to tell you that I decided to do this Decan Walk to introduce you to astrological correspondences where we can really observe seasons assigned to the cards in real time, where you can really deepen your knowledge about each card by observing the sky in the real time like our elders did in the ancient times. And the goal is to really give you information. The goal is for you to develop your own relationship to the cards, to the given correspondences, and assign additional meanings that are really unique to you, because yes, tarot is a language with its own rules, but there's always an exception to rule. And it depends to our personal experiences, how we relate to symbology, that we gain understanding. As we expand the vocabulary of tarot, of astrological correspondences, we enhance our skills in reading tarot, because I see tarot as a language, learning a language. All the correspondences that are mapped upon represents different facets of language. And if you learn the vocabulary of all of those aspects, you're expanding your vocabulary that helps you understand and deepen the knowledge of the cards. You don't have to know tarot. You don't have to know astrological correspondences. You can read tarot by element, number, and image. But if you do learn the correspondences, if you give yourself time and patience to learn them over the course of time, for which a Decan Walk is a beautiful year-long practice to do so, it gives you so much more back. It gives you so much more back. It broadens the horizons of understanding, wisdom, and meaning. It really expands your knowledge to new heights. I promise you. I promise you. I've been trying to do this video for like 3 weeks, but due to unpredictable hours of my working everyday job, I just did not have the time to do it. But I'm doing it now. So this is a Decan Walk intro video that tells you a little bit, that explains to you what a Decan Walk is, why should you do it, and after that we are going to start with cards of minor arcana cards. I'm going to share my video. I'm going to share my screen, not my video. Okay. Okay, perfect. I think you can see my screen now. Yeah. Okay. So what is important to understand is, and the way astrological correspondences are mapped onto the tarot card, the basis is Western tropical zodiac. And the walk uses the Golden Dawn system. If you do not know about the Golden Dawn, I'm going to speak about it a little bit more in depth on my Patreon page, that I'm going to give you all of the information in the description below. All of the history of the Golden Dawn, and in details I'm going to explain on my Patreon. And if you want to learn more, you're welcome to go there. That video will be up at the end of this week, so it's not yet there. At the end of the week, meaning at the end of the month of April. Okay, why are we using tropical zodiac sign? Why does the wheel starts with 0 degrees Aries? Astrological year starts at springtime, 21st of March. And in astrology and astronomy, we say this is the mark of 0 degrees of the sign of Aries. Why? Because you can see in the middle of the earth, and you can see the line in the middle of the earth represents Earth equator. So when you project the line, the circle of the Earth equator into the space, you get a celestial equator. And on this image, the celestial equator is this green dotted circle around the Earth. This is the celestial equator. So the sun journeys, the sun crosses the path of ecliptic within a year, throughout 1 year. And the Western tropical zodiac is rooted into the seasons of solstices and equinoxes. And both Western tropical and sidereal zodiacs are mathematically divided circle in 360 degrees that represents 12 zodiac signs. The difference is that the tropical Western always starts at 0 degrees of Aries, the first day of spring. The start of zodiac in Vedic sidereal is in opposition to a star. Mainly the most frequent used is in opposition to star Spica in constellation of Virgo. But I do not want to confuse you with that. We are returning to tropical Western zodiac because this was the basis that was applied to tarot cards. When the sun moves through ecliptic, it moves through 12 zodiac signs, apparently. Sun moves approximately 1 degree per 1 day. So this means that the sun travels 30 degrees or 30 days through one zodiac sign. Astrological year starts at 0 degree Aries, the moment when the sun crosses the celestial equator, moving from south to north, signaling the start of spring in the northern hemisphere, March 20th or 21st. And the solar position, the position of the sun is directly over the Earth's equator, distributing sunlight almost evenly between both hemispheres. And you can see, so the ecliptic is the apparent path of the sun throughout the year. And this is why Decan Walk is a walk that lasts 1 year, because it follows the path of the sun, it follows the path of the seasons, of equinoxes, and solstices. And this reflects, and we are going to learn how this reflects in tarot cards. You can see the same, maybe a little bit clearer image here. Again, the Earth is in the middle. You can see the yellow line, which is the celestial equator line. The green line is called the ecliptic. So the sun passes 1 degree per day, travels 30 degrees approximately or 30 days through one zodiac signs, which means it takes approximately 1 year to go through whole ecliptic and whole 12 astrological signs. So 30 degrees is divided by 3. It has 3/10. These are subdivisions. So meaning if we take 0 degree Aries, the first day of spring, it takes approximately around 30 days for the sun to pass through a zodiac sign of Aries. So Aries has 30 degrees. These 30 degrees are divided in 3 segments of 10 degrees or 10 days. Each 10 days represents 1 decan or 110 degrees or 1 portion of a zodiac sign. Each decan, each 10-degree portion is ruled by a planet, which is assigned to each tarot card. So each tarot card of the 36 minor arcana cards is assigned to 1 decan. And here you can see the Chaldean order of planets. So what is a Chaldean order of planets? Why do we need to know it? Because each decan that comprises of 10 degrees and represents roughly 10 days is ruled by a planet following the Chaldean order. The Chaldean order of planets has Egyptian origins, and it represents, it showcases how the planets are, it divides, it's an order of planets that is following the speed of the planets from the slowest planet to the fastest planet. From the slowest moving planet to the fastest moving planet. So here we can see the slowest moving planet is on top. And the slowest is Saturn. Jupiter is the second slowest planet. Mars is then, third slowest planet, which means it's a little bit faster. Then we have the Sun. Then we have Venus, which is faster. Then we have Mercury, which is very fast. And then we have the Moon, which is the fastest luminary. Here you can see glyphs of each planet. And this is very useful to remember, because how we are going to recognize the planets, well, certain cards, certain tarot cards have the glyphs of the planets on them. So you know which planet is associated with which tarot card. Here you can see a decan wheel. So what is a decan wheel? Decan wheel is a representation of astrological correspondences and tarot cards that are overlaid together. So it looks a little bit confusing, but in the center is the Earth. The first circle that you see, you can see the glyphs of the zodiac signs. Okay. And here we can see another wheel. I'm just going to, and here you can see better. So this circle represents the zodiac belt. It is divided in 360 degrees. It is divided in 12 sections or slices of pies of different color. Each slices of a pie represent a zodiac sign. Each zodiac sign is subdivided into 3 decans. Each decan covers a 10-degree portion of the sky, and it is related to a season and a time, and it is ruled by a planet corner. Here you can see one zodiac sign, which is Aries, which is related to the element of fire. We said that astrological year starts with spring vernal equinox at 0 degrees Aries. And we said that decans cover 10 degrees parts of the circle. And each decan is related to one tarot card. Here we see from 0 to 10, first decan, that starts with March 20 or 21st till March 30th, is assigned to the tarot cards 2 of Wands. Then the second decan is next 10 degrees that cover next 10 days of the season of the zodiacal sign of Aries. So the second decan is a time between 30th or 31st of March till April 10, and it is ruled by the sun, and it is assigned to the card 3 of Wands. The last decan, the third decan, the last section of 10 degrees or 10 days covers the time of April 11th till April 20th, and it is ruled by the planet Venus in the sign of Aries. So let's show this. Like I said, let's talk a little bit about the structure of tarot. For those of you who don't know the structure of tarot, I'm not going to speak a lot about it. You can Google it. But tarot deck is consisted of 78 cards, and it is divided into 22 major arcana cards and 56 minor arcana cards. So 22 major arcana cards are like, they represent these big archetypal forces that appear to influence our life, that seems fated, destined, and out of our control, these big archetypal forces. And 56 minor arcana cards are divided into 4 suits related to 4 elements: water, fire, air, and earth. And any doctrine that is related to the 4 elements, you can apply it, you can map it out on tarot cards if you like, okay? So 56 minor arcana cards are divided in 4 suits. We have the suit of Wands that you are seeing here. Each suit is consisted of 14 cards. First, we have the suit of Wands that is related to the element of fire. Then we have a suit of cups that is related to element of water. Then we have a suit of air that is related to element of suit of swords that is related to element of air. And we have the suit of pentacles or coins that are related to earth, 4 elements. Each suit has 14 cards that are numbered from 1 to 10, and then there are 4 court cards: pages or knives, knights, queens, and kings. These are 4 court cards in each suit. So for the purposes of this video and Decan Walk, we are going to kick out in the butt the court cards, because they are, so the pages, knights, queens, and kings, we are going to kick them out because they are the mixture of elements, and we are going to speak about that in other videos. And we are going to kick out, for the purpose of Decan Walk, we are going to kick out the aces, because the aces of each suit and element, they are the root power of the element. They are like the raw energy, the root power of the element they represent. So we are left with 9 cards of each suit. And this together, 9 cards of each suit, 9 times plus 4 suits is 36. 36 faces of decans in astrology mapped onto those tarot cards. Here we have 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. What is important, again, to know is astrological modalities. Here you can see cards from 2 to 10. So all of the cards of all of the suits from 2 till 4 represents cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Cardinal signs are all about initiation of action respective to their element. So cardinal fire is Aries. So 2, 3, 4 of Wands is assigned to cardinal sign of Aries. 2, 3, 4 of Cups is assigned to cardinal sign of Cancer, water. 2, 3, 4 of Air is related to 2, 3, 4 of Swords in tarot is related to air and the cardinal sign of Libra. 2, 3, 4 of Pentacles are related to cardinal sign of Capricorn. Then we have 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 7 of Wands. 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups, 7 of Cups. 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords. 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles are connected in the middle to fixed signs in astrology. Fixed signs are here to stabilize, to maintain, to build upon what cardinal signs have initiated. And fixed signs in astrology related to minor arcana numbered 5, 6, and 7 are signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So all of these astrological signs, they are attributed with of course, elements and with those qualities. So let's go back to 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and 7 of Wands are connected to the fixed fire sign, which is Leo. 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups, 7 of Cups is assigned to fixed sign of water, element of water, which is Scorpio. 5, 6, and 7 of Swords are related to the fixed sign Aquarius, which is connected to air. 5, 6, 7 of Pentacles is related to Earth, and therefore it is connected to the fixed sign of Taurus. Let's go back. And we have 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands, and 10 of Wands. So all of the numbered cards in all of the suits connected to 8, 9, and 10s are related to mutable signs. So let's go. 8, 9, and 10 of Wands in the suit of Wands are related to element of fire and mutable sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a mutable fiery signs. So mutable signs, they are adapting, they are representing the transitional part of the seasons. So all of those qualities are rooted into the seasons. So cardinal signs, they initiate, right? So actually cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs represents the seasons. So the cardinals is the beginning of the season when everything starts and it initiates. Fixed modality is when the season is established and solid. And mutable is when the season is changing and it is transitioning, right? So for example, Aries, it's the start of the spring. Taurus, everything is already bloomed. Everything is bloomed. You have the hotter days, you have the longer days, everything, the weather is kind of stabilized. And then you have mutable Gemini that transitions, that's a season that transitions and pivots between the change of the seasons, right? So they are representing the qualities of the season, which we can see and reflect and add the qualities of the seasons to the meaning of the cards. So 8, 9, and 10 of Wands are connected to the sign of Sagittarius, which is mutable. 8, 9, and 10 of Cups are connected to the sign of Pisces, mutable sign of Pisces. 8, 9, and 10 of Swords are related to the Gemini, and 8, 9, and 10 of Pentacles are related to Virgo, to the sign of Virgo. I want to go back to the Chaldean order, which is always the same. Do you remember? We were saying that Chaldean order is the order of planets that goes from the slowest speed of planetary speed to the fastest. So it goes Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. So this is an order of the planet that is constant. But we do not start with Saturn, we start with Mars. In Chaldean order, even though Saturn is the slowest, on tarot wheel, we start the Decan Walk with the sign of Aries. Mars rules the sign of Aries, and this is why we start with the planet Mars. Each decan then follows the Chaldean order. Mars, below is the Sun, then it's Venus, then it's Mercury, then it's Moon, and it goes back to Saturn. Then it goes to Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon, and this order constantly repeats itself through each decan. So we start with the planet Mars. We follow the Chaldean order, Sun, Venus. Then we go Mercury, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon, Saturn. So the planets are repeating in the same order through the decans and through the cards, but in different signs. Here, maybe you can see it better. So we start a Decan Walk with first 10 degrees of Aries that is ruled by Mars. And we end a year with the month and the season of Pisces with the last decan that is again ruled by Mars. There's a whole philosophy by why Mars starts and ends the astrological wheel in the Chaldean order mapped onto Decan Walk in Tarot. Also, what I wanted to tell you is that Decan Walk is based in Golden Dawn teachings. Golden Dawn is esoteric occult society that was founded in the late 19th century. Two most famous members, and they are famous for our tarot community because two most famous tarot decks were created by two members of the Golden Dawn. Rider-Waite Tarot, which is the most famous deck that you can see, was created by Arthur Edward Waite and Pamela Coleman Smith. And the other, which is Thought Tarot, that is created by Aleister Crowley, and the artist Frida Harris. They both were members of the Golden Dawn. And Golden Dawn simply used symbolic structures and languages, adopted different doctrines, and mapped it out on tarot. And this is also connected to Kabbalah. You don't have to know much about Kabbalah. Me personally, I used to learn it while I was learning tarot. I was using it heavily while I was reading tarot, and now I'm kind of, using it when I find it useful. I do not always look at the symbology of Kabbalah, but it is useful to know it. Kabbalah comes from Jewish mysticism, but the parts of the Kabbalistic meanings was adopted in the Western world. Those parts that were adopted and assimilated, this is called Christian Kabbalah. Later on, this Christian Kabbalah was adopted and further expanded, a little bit changed, or like I said, adopted, assimilated by Hermetic Society of the Golden Dawn. And it takes the Hermetic principles of the Christian Kabbalah and assigns them to tarot cards. So Hermetic principles that are assigned to tarot cards are connected to colors, gemstones, herbs, body parts, and this is all related to astrology. Hermetic Kabbalah is actually a symbolic system that structures all of that knowledge and correspondences in a practical way and shows the path to gnosis and to manifestation. One of the maps used from Jewish mysticism is the Tree of Life. And here you can see a beautiful, beautiful, let me see if I can, beautiful presentation that Mary K. Greer did. And you can find that on her page as a free resources. There are many presentations of the Tree of Life. There are many different systems used and correspondences assigned to the Tree of Life. Don't be confused if you find different correspondences. This one is related to the Golden Dawn, and we are using the Golden Dawn correspondences. So here you can see a Tree of Life, and Tree of Life is consistent of 10 spheres and circles, numbered 1 to 10, and it is connected with all these paths, and minor arcana cards 1 to 10 are assigned to each numbered sphere, while major arcana cards are connected to the paths that are connecting those spheres. So aces, or number 1 cards, are related to the sphere. It is called Kether, and the number 1 on top of the tree. And the number 10 of the cards, of tarot cards, of the minor arcana cards, are connected to sphere of number 10, which is at the bottom of the tree. And it is called Malkuth, and it is the earthly realm. We said that 4 suits of minor arcana cards are related to 4 elements. And the principle of Hermetic Kabbalah is that the 4 elements are related to 4 worlds, Kabbalistic worlds, that are associated to the 4 letters of the name of God, Tetragrammaton. I'm not going to go into details here. I'm not going to speak a lot about that. If you want to learn more about the Tree of Life, Kabbalistic world, and how it is related to tarot, I'm going to do a video on that on my Patreon site at the end of the month of April. So stay tuned. So here I just wanted to show you the scheme of the Tree of Life and how astrology and tarot cards are mapped onto the Tree of Life. We have the path of illumination, which is called the path of serpent on the Tree of Life. And the serpent goes from the bottom, the Malkuth, from the number 10. Here are the 4 pages of 4 suits. This is the manifested world. And the path of the serpent covers all of the paths of the major arcana cards that are connecting Sephiras. The serpent goes from manifested world and goes through all and connects all of the paths that are associated to the major arcana, all the way up to the aces on top, on the first Sephira in the middle, which is called Kether, or the crown, and it represents gnosis. So it is the path of self-realization. You are working through each card of the major arcana, following the structure and the path of the teachings you can find in the Golden Dawn by Israel Regardi. I definitely advise you if you are more interested. So this is the path of gnosis. The path of serpent is the path of gnosis. Then we have the path of lightning, a lightning bolt, which goes and connects all of the circles you are seeing, or all of the numbered cards from 1 to 10. And it is called the path of manifestation. So the path of the lightning bolt is the path of manifestation of spirit into the matter. And when you look at the tarot cards like this, and when you place the number cards of 1 to 10, and you place them on the tree of life like this. So aces on top, twos on the right, threes on the left, fours on the right, fives on the left, sixes in the middle, sevens of tarot suits on the right, eights on the left, nines in the center, and 10th at the bottom in the center. If you map tarot cards 1 to 10, and if you read about what the path of manifestation is, you can use tarot cards on your path to manifestation as you imagine it. But if you want to go to the path of self-illumination and gnosis, self-realization, or in Jungian terms, individuation, you will follow the path of serpent. This is all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm going to go much into it in a different and separate videos. So here you have 10 spheres, which are connected to 10 numbers, 1 to 10. 10 minor arcana are cards together with the court cards are assigned to those spheres. Astrologically, there are planets that are assigned to the spheres. So for example, to the sphere number 3, Saturn is assigned, and queens of court cards are assigned here. For example, in the middle, the yellow color, the yellow sphere, all the sixes of the minor arcana cards are placed here. Sun is attributed to this sphere. But if you want to deepen your practice, I definitely urge you to learn more about Kabbalistic Tree of Life and how astrology and tarot are mapped on it. Okay, so to sum up, what is a Decan Walk? A Decan Walk follows the path of the sun through ecliptic, which is a circle of a zodiac that is divided in 360 degrees. Decan is a 10-degree portion of the sky, and it covers 10 days of the path of the sun around the year. And we are using tropical Western zodiac, which is a circle divided in 12 signs. Each sign covers 30 degrees, and it is subdivided into 3 decans. And each decan is ruled by a planet following the Chaldean order. That is associated, and each decan is connected to one tarot card and is ruled by a sign and a planet. Okay, so this is it. This is what we are going to use in our Decan Walk. This is what we are going to use. Why I started to learn tarot? Because I really wanted to connect deeper to my own intuition, and because I had previous knowledge in astrology, and when I discovered that astrology was layered upon tarot, I needed to have a deck that had astrological glyphs. And so astrological correspondences played a really important role in me learning the tarot. So the first deck that I actually bought was Ciro Marchetti's deck, Tarot of Dreams, because it had astrological glyphs. So this is, for example, a glyph for the planet of Jupiter, and this is the glyph for astrological sign of Gemini. So this was very important for me. And this was my first deck. And I just, I started learning by seeing the images and connecting my knowledge of the astrology. But then as I started to learn more, I understand that there's like a whole tarot essential structure that I need to learn. And then I bought a typical tarot deck, a typical Rider-Waite deck. This is like a mini radiant-wise tarot. This is the typical Rider-Waite deck, actually. So I started to learn tarot like this, numbers and elements and images. Then I added astrology, the Decan Walk, right? Then I added astrology. Then I started to learn Hebrew letters. So you have gematria layered upon the knowledge of tarot cards, which is the knowledge of where numbers are associated with letters and words, which is also heavily used by the Golden Dawn members. So you have Hebrew letters assigned to the major arcana cards. That's very interesting to know, but it's a different video. Yeah. And then I fell in love with Thought Tarot because I learned that the artist Frida Harris, she was a student of Rudolf Steiner, and she used projective geometry to create images of Thoth Tarot. Oops, again. So all these lines that you are seeing, she was using projective geometry. And I have to say, a lot of people have issues with learning. They're not really vibing with Thoth Tarot. But for me, like, it spoke to my heart. The lines, the colors, all the symbology that was used to create Thought Tarot is really amazing. Aside the Aleister Crowley persona and whatever he was doing in using all the knowledge. So these are the cards that I'm going to be using on my Decan Walk, in my Decan Walk. And I'm going to use cards depending how I feel. I'm going to mix the cards so you can see how different cards reflect the correspondences we are talking about, right? So we are going to start with Aries cards with the first 3 decans of Aries sign, because we are starting with astrological new year and the spring time and the vernal equinox. So we are going to start 2, 3, and 4 of wands, and these are the videos we are going to cover in separate videos. So what are the resources that I'm going to use in Decan Walk? Of course, it's the Golden Dawn book, Golden Dawn Rituals book. I'm going to use Tarot Deciphered by Susan T. Chang and M.M. Malin, which is amazing in blending together Rider-Waite tarot, thought tarot, mythology behind it with the astrology, with alchemy. It's amazing. I'm gonna use 36 Secrets by Susan T. Chang. I'm gonna use 36 Faces by Austin Coppock. I'm going to use Book of Tea and Liber 777 by Thoth. I'm also going to use a workbook made by M.M. Malin with all of the correspondences assigned to each decan that she pulled out from 777, Liber 777, created by Aleister Crowley. Also, I'm waiting for a new tarot deck to come that is connected to Kabbalistic meanings, which is beautiful, and it is made by I think Eugene Vitinsky. It is called Kabbalistic Tarot. I'm going to show it when it arrives. And why is this so beautiful? Because each card is related to myriads of correspondences related to astrology, alchemy, mythology, herbology, gems, stones, colors, and all this wealth of knowledge that you can really use while reading tarot for different purposes. For example, I just want to show you how meaning can really change and how you can get more while you are doing Decan Walk and while learning all this correspondence. For example, one day I pulled card a day, which is a great practice, so you can connect to the cards and see what it represents in everyday life, because sometimes it's going to represent one thing, sometimes it's going to represent the other thing. So I pulled up 10 of Cups, right? In the morning, early in the morning, I woke up, I did my little ritual, I pulled out a card for a day. I was thinking, oh, what a beautiful day it's going to be. Oh my God. It was such a stressful day. I had such an emotional overwhelm. We had so many issues at work with things, with different programs and different issues not going well. And it was so busy and it was emotionally overwhelming. And at the end of the day, I like to look at what card did I pull out. And I was like, look at this happy card. This is like 10 of Cups. It's the end of the cycle. it is cups, it is emotions, it is relationship. Look at the rainbow here. Look at the people happy, dancing, kids dancing, looking at those beautiful, happy cups. And it has nothing to do with my day. The image had nothing to do with my day. When we look at the number 10, which is like the end of the cycle, the culmination of the cycle, transcendence, right? Number 10, it is the end. It is connected to the suit of cups, emotions, relationships, feelings. The only thing I could think of is how my day went bad. And looking at this happy card, I was like, no, it was not a happy day. So we go deeper. So astrologically, which decan is connected to this card? Third decan of Pisces, the sign of Pisces, and it is connected to the planet Mars. So Mars rules the third decan of sign of Pisces, which is associated to this card. And Mars is all about disruption and conflict and action. This is what I had. I had a lot of conflict at work. We had a lot of, in ancient times, Mars was also connected to like engineering and technology. And I had a lot of issues with different programs we were working in, so we could not do work with people. And I work with foreign people. I'm a Croatian, and my work is with Canadians. I speak in French language, I speak in English language. And Pisces represents foreign countries. I work with Canada, with Quebec, which is foreign country. And we had a lot of issues, disruption, Mars disruption in work, in long distance connection to the clients. So you can see how original meaning of 10 of cups with the number and the element of water, and when you see the image, it really was not reflecting my experience of the day. But when I connected to astrological correspondences, I can understand how this card could reflect. I was really overwhelmed, emotionally tired, psychically drained with all what was going on, right? And this is what I wanted to say. So sometimes when 10 of Cups appears in the reading, it will mean just what you're seeing. This merry, happy at the end of the road, fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. But sometimes it's going to mean Mars, conflict in the sign of Pisces, right? Sometimes it's going to mean spiritual work because Pisces is related to spirituality, transcendence. Mars is action, what you take action on spiritual path, Sometimes it's going to mean that. Sometimes it's just going to mean, kids playing outside, family, having great time outside, four people hanging out together, drinking too much, drinking too much with all these cups. Sometimes this is going to mean different things. So as you know all of the layers, you can pull out in the reading, the best thing that reflects the situation. And I find that only with numbers and elements, an image, the knowledge is limited. And I find that when I know more correspondences, I have a well of information from which I pull when I read for myself and for others. So I hope this was useful to learn what is a Decan Walk, why should you do it. I'm going to do a Decan Walk, so I'm going to put 2, 3, and 4 of Wands, the first 3 decans of Aries season. I'm going to pull up by the end of the week. More information about Golden Dawn, Kabbalah, and everything else I'm gonna place on my Patreon site at the end of the month. I'm going to put everything in the description below where you can find it. I hope this clarified a little bit why should you do the Decan Walk, and we start officially Decan Walk with 2 of Wands, which is going to be a separate video. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for staying with me, and see you soon. Bye.